On the news, Governor Bello clears air on takeover as APC Caretaker Committee Chairman. DCP Kyari pleads not guilty to drug charges as co-defendants admit guilt. And police arrest driver of BRT bus boarded by late fashion designer. It's good to have you join us on News Now on TV360 Nigeria. I am Mary Kanu. The governor of Niger State, Abubakar Sani Bello, has dispelled rumors of his emergence as the chairman of the All Progressives Congress APC Caretaker Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee. Speaking after the meeting of a committee which the Niger State governor presided over, Bello said he has been acting as the national chairman of the APC Caretaker Committee for a while now. Bello also disclosed that issues regarding the March 26 convention were discussed at the meeting and however declined to comment on if he has taken over as the chairman of the Caretaker Committee.
I would like to draw your attention that the work has just begun. I pray and I hope that by the time you get back to your respective states, you will unite the party in your various states. Please, let bygones be bygones. You have to bring everyone together, those that were for you and against you. What we want is a unified APC in your various states, because we have elections around the corner, and we hope and we pray, and by God's grace, I believe God will answer our prayers. We expect a better result in 2023 than in 2019. With the report I have, each and every one of you emerged through a free and fair process. So please remember those that stood for you and be a leader in your various states. Whatever actions you take, put at the back of your mind the principle of fairness, equity, and justice.
Suspended Deputy Commissioner of Police Abba Kyari has pleaded not guilty to the 8 drug trafficking-related counts brought against him by the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency. Kyari was on Monday arraigned before the Federal High Court in Abuja by the NDLEA. While the order of 4 senior police officers also pleaded not guilty, the 2 civilians in the trial, Chibuna Patrick Umeibe and Emeka Alphonsus Ezewande, pleaded guilty to counts 5, 6, and 7. Meanwhile, the presiding judge, Justice Emeka Nwite, adjourned the trial till March 14th. Kyari is expected to remain in the custody of the NDLEA until he reappears in court at the adjourned date for his bail hearing. Well, joining me to discuss this further is legal expert Monday Ubani. Thank you for joining us on the news. Now, from the legal perspective, do you think the co-defendant's guilty plea complicates Abba Kyari's case?
Sorry about that. I just wanted to repeat the question because my office is very close to a railway station.
All right.
So they have just passed. I'm sorry about that.
Okay, I asked from the legal perspective, do you think the co-defendant's guilty plea complicates Abba Kyari's case?
Well, I know in criminal trial, if you have many defendants, one of the co-accused or 2 of them can plead guilty. You can still maintain the fact that you are not guilty as an individual, because crime is clearly individual. If you're not guilty based upon evidence that is available, then you are not guilty. If you are saying I'm not guilty, another man says I'm guilty, he has his reason why he says he's guilty. Now, if the other person says he's not, he's guilty, and then you cannot be able to establish a conspiracy between both parties, it will be difficult for the court to hold that other person guilty. So it's a matter of evidence. So to me, I think you have seen it several times in normal criminal proceedings where if there are several defendants, one can say I'm guilty, while the other one will say I'm not guilty. What it means that the trial of that person who says I'm not guilty will not proceed. It's a matter of evidence. So if they present evidence, the court will go ahead now and look at that evidence. If he's not guilty, the court will make such a pronouncement that is not. If he is guilty, the court also will make such pronouncement. So it's a matter of trial now. That's what it means. There's going to be a criminal proceeding in which the prosecution will be made to present his evidence against the defendant, and then he has to prove beyond reasonable doubt that the defendant has committed that crime. That is where the stage where we are in now in this particular matter.
All right. Now Kyari has pleaded not guilty. How do you think this will affect his extradition to the United States?
It means that he can, the extradition process is also a judicial process. And the court will also have to take into cognizance whatever defense the defendant will put up. If he says that he has a criminal trial that he's facing here in Nigeria, the court will look into that particular evidence and see whether that criminal proceeding that is going on here, independent of the extradition process, will hinder his extradition to America. So it's also going to probably present that evidence before the court for this extradition process that is going on now. It's a proceeding. It's a judicial proceeding. So I think we are going to see a situation where that evidence of this charge that has been brought against him being presented before the Federal High Court, where the extradition proceeding is going on presently.
Well, all right. Monday Ubani, legal expert, thank you for joining us on the news and for your contributions. Well, moving on, operatives of the Lagos State Police Command have arrested the driver of the Bus Rapid Transit BRT who drove and allegedly kidnapped the 22-year-old Oluwabamise Ayonwale, who was found dead on Monday. The police public relations officer in the state, Adekunle Ajisebutu, made this known in an interview with newsmen, as he also confirmed that the body of a lady has been found. According to the PPRO, the abductors dumped the remains of a lady on the Carter Bridge by Ogogoro community. Ajisebutu thereafter assured that the police will not rest until the perpetrators of the wicked act are brought to book. The federal government has assured that it is doing everything within its power to ensure better electrification of the country. The Minister of Power, Abubakar Aliyu, who spoke on various initiatives under the ministry, including the Presidential Power Initiative, explained some of the challenges that has led to worsening power supply in recent times. Our correspondent, Folashade Ogunrinde, has the details in this next report. The recent poor supply of electricity in some parts of the country has become a source of worry. At this press briefing, the Minister of Power, Abubakar Aliyu, says low water levels in hydropower dams and maintenance work at gas plants is a reason for this power shortfall.
We are working on more farm gas supply contracts for the power sector backed by improved liquidity. These contracts will have stiff financial penalties for underperformance. Increase energy mix to improve energy security. We will complete the Zungero Hydro Plant, the Katsina Wind Plant, Kashimbila Hydro, as well as ensure the challenges with Gurara are permanently resolved, partnering with the Ministry of Water Resources. We are also working to resolve issues that have prevented large on-grid solar from taking off in Nigeria.
Another challenge the minister highlighted is the issue of right-of-way between the federal and state government, which has hampered the progress of some critical projects despite available funds.
We have a lot of them. For instance, the Benin North to Oshogbo, which is a 330 kV line. We cannot proceed because of right-of-way. Kano Katsina is also 330 line. It's over 40%. and all the materials for the job are on site to complete. We cannot proceed because of right of way. And this affects the delivery of these projects. So people need to know that we only need to pass and connect and expand these supplies of electricity.
Despite these challenges, the minister says the President Muhammadu Buhari-led administration is unrelenting in its quest to improve power supply.
The Central Bank of Nigeria is also funding $250 million for the rehabilitation of critical interfaces between transmission and distribution to increase and stabilize power delivery.
While lamenting the effects of the activities of meter racketeers on the national metering program, the minister reiterated that the federal government is determined to uphold its free metering program as promised. Folashade Ogurinde, TV360 News.
To mark a thriving relationship between Pakistan and Nigeria, the Western Naval Command has played host to the 51st Pakistan Navy Staff Course delegations in Apapa, Lagos State. According to the leader of the Pakistan team, Commodore Imran Haki, the 6-day visit is to enhance collaboration with the Nigerian Navy in order to strengthen the force platform to address crime, and is optimistic the interaction will lead to a better relationship between the two navies and countries.
We have a very good relations on the national basis and between the armed forces, and very in particular with the Nigerian Navy. We have a very good training collaboration, and both the naval forces have very similar challenges, and we are learning from the Nigerian Navy, and Nigerian Navy is also learning from us and how we can meet the challenges and solve them, and at international and national level. I'm really thankful for the Nigerian Navy for hosting us and giving us opportunity to interact with each other and learn from each other.
On his part, the Chief Staff Officer, Western Naval Command, Rear Admiral Hamza Kaoje, said the continuous participation of both countries in several foreign courses and peacekeeping missions has led to a reduction in maritime crimes.
Nigeria and Pakistan, we have had a very long relationship, over 40 years. We are all a Commonwealth country, and so many of our officers have been trained in their country, and we have been collaborating in so many areas, both Navy, Army, and the Air Force. And the challenges now in the world, the maritime crimes, they are boundless. And we need to collaborate with our brothers to make sure that we nip all this crime, especially piracy and other crimes on the board.
Ahead of the 70th annual meeting of the West Africa Examination Council, WAEC, the examination body, in a pre-conference press briefing at its national office in Lagos, has announced activities put in place for the successful hosting of the event. While speaking on the achievements of the current administration, the head of the Nigerian office, Patrick Aragon, said the body has been able to reduce the number of waiting days for the release of results from 84 to 45 days. Aragon also announced the council is about to launch a digital avenue of retrieving lost original certificates issued to its candidates.
We are 70 years old now. Do we have any new thing in the offing? Have we devised new strategies, new ways of doing things geared towards a better service delivery? My answer is yes. You can continue to count and count and count and count. In the course of my address, I did say that we have been able to cut down the number of waiting days for the release of results, starting from the last administration, from 84 days, about 84 days, to now 45 days. So we now have what we call Operation 4590. That means counting from the last day you dropped your pen, waiting from that time, waiting 45 days, at most 45 days, you get your results. And then from that time, at most 90 days, you get your certificate. There are some examining bodies here and there that are owing candidates certificates, a backlog of certificates. But why we are not owing any candidate any certificate? After 90 days, I promise you that you will get your certificate.
And for many years, multi-talented artist Kolawole Olojo Kosoko has been winning hearts with his art pieces, and his latest solo exhibition in Lagos is no exception, as the artist uses oil painters, acrylic portraits to send strong messages to his audience. Called Entities and Identities, the exhibition seeks to chronicle the artist's journey and growth over the past decade of his career. Our correspondent Abisola Adebayo tells us more in this next report.
The Nigerian Visual Arts Circle boasts of a myriad of talents. There are, however, some among the many creatives who have distinguished themselves with their works highly sought after and whose creative ingenuity speak volumes of their personalities. Kolawole Olojo Kosoko ranks very much in this group. The University of Benin and Obafemi Awolowo University-trained artist has over the years mastered his craft amid excelling in other related fields. In this art exhibition at my dream gallery in Nigeria's commercial capital, Lagos, the multidisciplinary artist chronicles his decade-long journey with several artworks that details his growth over the years.
Out of about 100 that I have in the studio, I pick out 35, and those 35 were carefully chosen for people to see for the past 10 years how far I have been moving. Exhibition in the life of an artist is more or less like an exposition, whereby people come to see what you have been doing over the years, and they want to interact with what they are seeing.
From beautiful paintings, sophisticated pencil drawings to acrylic portraits, over 30 works of art grace the walls of the gallery. Olojo Kosoko says his drawings and paintings are inspired by his immediate environment.
Over the years, I've been building on them, idea-wise, according to what is going on within the country, what is going on in my environment, what is happening to me. So those are the things that informed whatever you are seeing on display here.
Beyond his inspiration, Olojo Kosoko's artworks highlight and create awareness about societal vices in the society. They capture the complexities of society and what a righteous society should look like.
This is more or less a surrealistic expression of me trying to look at what is going on in the country. You understand? I merely use the lizard as a metaphor. I use the calabash more or less like a globe. That is the Nigeria. That's why you can see green, white, and green. You understand? And the general populace entirely. The ministers, I use all these other lizards as the ministers, the governor in the country. You understand? So majority of our political leaders, they are under dealing. You understand? They are the one more or less eating the fruit of the nation without Mr. President knowing anything about it.
While highlighting the importance of events like this, art enthusiasts at the exhibition laud Olojo Kosoko's efforts for putting such an inspiring exhibition together.
Exhibitions like this measure the growth of artists. Exhibitions like this is able to let us know the type of research the artist is working on or he has actually put there. Exhibitions like this propel the younger ones, particularly some of us that are in pedagogy, some of us that are in education. You know, exhibitions like this propel the students, you know, to be able to see that if a guy is working this way, I think I will do better.
Olojo Kosoko's exhibition, Entities and Identities, will be on display at the Ikoyi-based gallery for a period of 2 weeks, which is expected to end of the 12th of March 2022. Abisola Adebayo, TV360 News.
We'll take a break here, but still to come, Ukraine rejects offer of humanitarian corridors to Russia. Details of the story and more right after this break. Welcome back. Here's a recap of our top stories tonight. Governor of Niger State, Abubakar Sani Bello, has dispelled rumors of his emergence as the chairman of the All Progressives Congress APC Caretaker Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee. Bello also disclosed that issues regarding the March 26 convention were discussed at the meeting and however declined to comment on if he has taken over as the chairman of the Caretaker Committee. We also told you that the suspended Deputy Commissioner of Police, Abba Kyari, has pleaded not guilty to the 8 drug trafficking-related counts brought against him by the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency. Kyari was on Monday arraigned before the Federal High Court in Abuja by the NDLEA. While the other 4 senior police officers also pleaded not guilty, the 2 civilians in the trial pleaded guilty to counts 5, 6 and 7, as Kyari is expected to remain under custody of the NDLEA until he reappears in court at the adjourned date for his bail hearing. And in case you missed any of the news bulletin or for more updates, to log on to our website in www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube and Google Plus at TV360 Nigeria. On Facebook, we're at TV360 Online. And now to COVID-19 stories and updates. While Nigeria has been experiencing a decline in the number of confirmed infections in the past few weeks, the fatality toll has stood at 3,142 since February 18th, 2022. This is according to an update by the Nigeria Center for Disease Control (NCDC) on Monday. The health agency also disclosed that 17 COVID-19 infections were recorded on Sunday in 4 states under FCT. Imo State topped the infection chart with 8 cases, followed by Oyo and FCT with 4 and 2 cases respectively, raising the country's infection tally to 254,657. We'll take a break now and return with business updates, so stay with us.
In the last 3 years, we have built a multi-purpose center, which is the envy of all in our constituency. And I can tell you that the people who are living there are already enjoying it.
Guy, do you think what this man just said is true? See, I seriously doubt. I'm sure it's one of those their silly lies.
Wait, do you know there's a way to find out if these things he's saying is true or not? This is the Construct app. It gives people like us a sure way to track implementation of constituency projects. It gives valid and verified information on location of projects, amounts allocated, amount funded, the level of job done, and even the profiles of concerned legislators. You and I can post directly on this app.
Are you serious?
This is the Go-To app if you want to know how our Commonwealth is being expanded by the government.
Wow. Let's even see if what this man said is true. Show me.
The Construct app is developed by Other People Nigeria with support from USAID and is available on both Google Play Store and Apple Store.
And it's true.
Of course, I told you.
Corruption not in my country. That was a very good business. Yeah. The furniture you brought was very perfect.
That's how we roll.
Because let me do you receipts.
Yeah. How much was it again?
1 million naira.
Okay, write 2.5.
Mbano. The deal was for 1 million naira now.
Okay, write 3 million. I'll give you 500.
Oh no, I don't do business like that now. Yeah.
In that case, give me back my check. Let me go and look for vendor that understand business.
Take.
Your loss.
But it is only for incorruptible customers. What are you talking?
Now get out.
What kind of this?
You will just die.
No,
you will die.
That is the door. Now get out from here.
Rubbish.
Look, my people. Make una only add money for original invoice price. That's not corruption. Say no. Not in my country.
Corruption not in my country.
Welcome back. Simisola Adegoin standing by with business updates. Simisola, over to you.
Thank you, Mary. Welcome to business. Google has announced that it will charge 7.5% as value-added tax VAT from all taxable services provided to Nigerian customers beginning from April 1, 2022. The company made this known in a statement over the weekend. Google said the new rate was in bid to comply with Nigeria's legislation on VAT, which came into effect on February 1, 2020 under the new Finance Act. Meanwhile, Facebook and Zoom have started charging 7.5% VAT on all services provided to Nigerian customers. We'll go on a short break and be back with Stock Market Review. Investors lost 3.23 billion naira on the Nigerian Stock Exchange with a decline of 0.01% to open the week negative. All share index paired at 47,262 points, while current market capitalization stands at 25.5 trillion naira. 109 listed equities participated in trading, ending with 19 gainers and 18 losers. Cornerstone Insurance and WAPIC Insurance recorded the most losses, leading the losers counter with 1 naira 21 kobo. On the flip side, the gainers counter is led by Niger Insurance and ICO with a combined gain of 87 kobo. At the end of Monday's trading, a total of 291 million volume of shares valued at 2.855 billion naira exchanged hands in 4,792 deals. Global stock markets continue to be roiled by deepening conflict between Russia and Ukraine on Monday amid numerous moves to isolate Russia from the global economy in response to its invasion of Ukraine, which is why our select stocks, UK's FTSE, US Dow Jones and Japan's Nikkei all ended at 0.40%, 1.64% and 2.94% respectively. That's all on Stock Market Review. Back to you, Mary.
Well, thank you for that update, Simisola. And now on the global scene, Ukraine has dismissed Moscow's offer to create humanitarian corridors from several bombarded cities after it emerged that exit routes would lead refugees into Russia or Belarus. The Russian proposal of safe passage for people from different cities came after terrified Ukrainian civilians came under fire in previous failed ceasefire attempts. Violence raged 12 days into the war, even as the third round of peace negotiations was starting on Monday. The Russian invasion has pushed more than 1.5 million people across Ukraine's borders into what the United Nations calls Europe's fastest growing refugee crisis since World War II and sparked fears of a wider conflict. Other sports, Nigeria's Flamingos defeated DR Congo 3-0 in the second round of the India 2022 FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup qualifier in Kinshasa. The three-time World Cup quarter-finalists broke the deadlock in the 36th minute after near misses and shunned penalty appeals. The second leg fixture of the qualifier comes up on March 19th at the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium, Benin, Edo State. If victorious, the Flamingos will meet the Egyptian on the 17th side in the third round in a bid to qualify as one of the teams to represent Africa at this year's tournament, which will run from October 11th to 30th. Well, that's the size of our news bulletin. Well, thank you for watching. I am Mary Kanu. Bye for now.